Department of Justice has launched another investigation into the state of Minnesota. This time, the Trump administration is looking into state government hiring practices related, to affirmative action. Danny Spiewak joins us now to explain. Danny?
Carla, this all centers around a Minnesota Department of Human Services policy requiring supervisors to provide a justification when hiring a candidate that's not from an underrepresented or minority group. The DOJ alleges that may be a violation of federal law, but the state of Minnesota disagrees.
According to a DHS policy in place since 2002 but updated this summer, supervisors must provide a hiring justification when seeking to hire a non-underrepresented candidate to meet affirmative action requirements. Now, the U.S. Department of Justice has written a letter to Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, arguing that the DHS policy may violate the 1964 Civil Rights Act as part of a, quote, broader effort by Minnesota to engage in race and sex-based employment practices.
Both sides have something to say.
U of M law professor Jill Hasday says Minnesota might defend the practice as a way of checking against hiring bias. But she says the Trump administration could rely on previous Supreme Court decisions that apply Title VII protections of the 1964 Civil Rights Act to white men, too.
What the federal government is going to argue, and what they've already begun arguing, is this is essentially taking adverse action against people who fall outside the protected group.
In a statement, DHS said it follows all state and federal hiring laws. Justification of non-affirmative action hires for some vacancies has been required by state law since 1987.
Certainly nothing terribly new there.
Mitchell Hamlin law professor Peter Larson says Minnesota could argue that the policy doesn't actually discriminate against white male candidates.
It's not really directing you to hire people who are within those protected classes. It's just making sure that people who are underrepresented have a fair shot during the interview process.
In the letter announcing the investigation, the DOJ said it hasn't reached any conclusions yet, but wants to meet with AG Ellison's office to discuss further. The AG's office here in Minnesota declined comment, deferring to DHS. Back to you.
And so it goes on. Thank you so much, Danny, for the latest.